You might be waiting for clarity, waiting until you know exactly what the next season of your creative life is supposed to look like, waiting until the idea you have is more formed, or waiting until your confidence is fully back, or waiting until the doors open wide and the money makes sense and the timing feels perfect, or someone else confirms that this is a good idea. But what if that clarity is not the thing that you need before you move? What if clarity comes because you moved? Sometimes the artist doesn't need a perfect plan. Sometimes the artist needs one brave move. Welcome to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist Podcast. I'm Lara Pilcher, author of Audacious Artistry, keynote speaker, life and creativity coach, and fellow artist. This is the podcast for artists and creatives who still feel called to create, but are tired of striving, comparing, waiting for permission, and wondering if their work still matters. Here, we talk honestly about the inner life of being an artist, the doubt, the courage, the burnout, the money, the waiting, the visibility, and the audacity it takes to keep showing up. Let's begin. A lot of artists are not doing nothing. They're actually thinking, or they're planning, they're researching. Maybe they're rewriting their bio. I've done that quite a few times. They are changing their website. They are asking for advice. They are watching what everyone else is doing. They are imagining 10 possible futures and trying to pick the one that will not hurt. And from the outside, all of this can look like procrastination or maybe even laziness. But often it's fear wearing a I'm being responsible outfit. It sounds like I just need to get clearer first, or I don't want to waste time, or I don't want to put something out there before it's ready, or I don't want to make the wrong move, or I don't know whether this is the right decision, or maybe the right direction. Maybe I need a better strategy. And of course, some of this can be wise, but artists do need to think. They need the thought, and we do need the craft. And artists do need timing and discernment and resources and a sense of direction. But there is a point when planning stops serving your art and actually starts protecting you from the risk of being seen trying. And that is the place this episode is speaking to. Not just the thoughtful place, but that frozen place that we are often in without realizing it, the place where you keep trying to think your way through and get to courage. So what's really happening here? Well, underneath the need for a perfect plan is often the ache of wanting a guarantee, a natural human desire there. You want to know that the song that you're creating will land, or the pitch will work, or the post will not be embarrassing. That's a big one. The audition will be worth the energy. The book idea will matter. The painting will sell. The class will fill. The project will lead somewhere. That this next step that you take will not expose you as a complete imposter. And you know what? That makes sense. Artist's life asks for so much courage, often without giving much certainty in return. And it is hard, that place. And you can work hard and still not be chosen. You can make something beautiful and still have it missed. You can take the step and still not get the outcome you hoped for. So many times I've sat there making what I think is the perfect reel to try and show up in some way in one of my creative, multifaceted, multi-talented, whatever you want to call it, passionate creative. And I don't always get the result that I hope for. So often what's happening for you is that the brain tries to protect you by asking for more information. So what happens is more clarity, more preparation, more signs, more assurance. But creative clarity is rarely just handed to you in a finished map. More often it comes through contact. You learn by sending the email. You learn by posting the piece. You learn by pitching the idea. You learn from the painful rejections, the recording of the rough version, the walking into the room. You learn by making the work. You learn by hearing your own voice out loud if you're doing voice work and hearing it back. And this is the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes you are not confused because you lack the clarity. Sometimes you're confused because you have stayed too still for too long and it's often fear. Action gives you information that overthinking cannot. Not because action fixes everything, but because movement brings reality into the conversation and the creativity. And you stop rehearsing every problem version of the future and you start working with what is actually in front of you. The best learning I've done has come from doing. And yeah, I look back and I think, well, that was a bit rubbish. But how did I get to that published book? By doing the work. And here's what else. The shift is this. Stop asking what is the perfect plan. Start asking what is the brave move that I can take this week. And it's not 10 moves, that's overwhelming. It's not a complete life reinvention. It's not a 5-year strategy. It's not a new vision board. It's one brave move. A brave move might be sending the pitch, asking for the meeting, signing up for the class, recording the messy first version, sharing the piece, sharing the process, returning to the draft, maybe opening the document. Maybe it's making the call or inviting a friend to read the book with you. Saying out loud, I still want this. And this move in your life doesn't have to be some big dramatic thing that you announce to the world. It just has to be authentically honest to you. So here is the practical question or the creative spark for you this week. What is the next brave move that would give me more information? Not the move that guarantees success, not the move that proves that I am brilliant, not the move that makes everything clear forever, the move that gives you more information. Because that takes the pressure down. You are not asking this one step to carry your whole future self. You are letting it teach you something. And that is what I call audacious action. It's not frantic striving. It's not forcing. It's not pretending that you are fearless. It is the artist saying, I may not know the whole path yet, but I can take this step. If this episode stirred something in you, my book Audacious Artistry goes deeper. This is very connected to the guidepost in there called Audacious Action, the part of the book where we talk about moving before everything feels perfectly clear. You can also get the 10-week group study guide to walk through the book on your own or with a group of friends. Head to larabiancapilcher.com/book. So here is the question that I want to leave with you. What is one brave move your art has been quietly asking you to take? Maybe even screaming for you to take. Not the whole plan, not the perfect plan, just the next little honest move. You may not even feel ready before you take it. I'm going to give you a secret. I really never do. But here's the thing. You might feel more like the artist you are after you actually do the step. You'll feel like the artist you are. Before you go, share this episode with a friend who you know needs it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast. If today's episode spoke something into you, my book, Audacious Artistry, Reclaim Your Creative Identity and Thrive in a Saturated World, goes deeper into this conversation. You can also download the free 10-week group study guide and walk through the book on your own with a friend or with a group of artists. Find the book and free guide at larabiancapilcher.com/book. Until next time, keep creating, stay audacious, and remember, your artistry matters.